I spent $50 on an old FX series computer, and what I'm trying to figure out is how much money I can make from it. Chances are, if you are somebody who is into restoring older computers or flipping computers for profit like I do, or if you just like cruising through Facebook Marketplace and looking at all the computer listings, then you've probably come across this system right here. Maybe not this exact system, but you have definitely seen the big old case full of old hardware. I don't think this was a waste of money, but God, who knows? So the person who was selling this system right here was trying to get $100 for the entire computer, but he couldn't tell me what CPU was inside of the system. And if I'm gonna spend any money at all, I wanna know two things. I wanna know that everything that I'm spending money on is functional and that I know exactly what it is I am purchasing. I mean, after all the funds that we're making are being used to build a supercomputer that one of you subscribers will have the chance to win. So in essence, I'm spending your money. Now, after about 30 minutes of pestering the seller to figure out what CPU is in here, he was able to figure out that the CPU in here is an AMD FX 8320. Now, out of all of the FX series processors, there's only two that are more powerful than this one, and that is the 8350 and the 8370. So the $100 asking price for this computer started to sound a little bit better, but me being me, I don't want to pay asking price. So I offered $50 and, well, here it is, 50 bucks. So as far as the rest of the items that are inside of this case here, we are getting 16 gigs of RAM, we're getting a 500 watt power supply, a GTX 750 Ti, a 970 Pro gaming motherboard, and a 1 terabyte NVMe. So the $50 that I paid for this computer, I'm getting a lot of stuff for it. So I mean, it was probably a good pickup. Now, in order for us to make money off this system right here, we are going to have to try and keep costs down as low as possible while still giving the computer a brand new appearance and an updated look. And I think that the items that I picked up for this computer are not only going to give it a decent look, but it's also going to improve the gameplay a little bit so that the finished result will be a computer that somebody will pay a pretty decent amount of money for. Now, just like always, we are going to go over the total cost of what it took to build the system, as well as where we stand in total funds to build the epic computer that one of you lucky subscribers will have the chance to win. But before we can do that, we do need to take apart this system and put it in its brand new home. So let's not waste any more time. Let's build this thing. why on earth are the older systems the harder ones to work on? So I was already unsure about if flipping this computer was going to be a good idea, and then all of the CPU cooler issues started happening, so my blood pressure just started rising. But it's my fault that we weren't able to use this ID cooling CPU cooler. I would have much rather used this one for the RGB element on it, but I didn't pay attention to the fact that it doesn't fit AM3 style sockets. So I ended up having to find one of these Cool Masters inside of my bin of spare parts. I actually have a few of them. Now, this system didn't come with a CPU cooler, but the backplate on it is the exact same backplate that this type of cooler uses, so it probably had this cooler on it to begin with. But the first one that I tried, the X clamps to attach itself to the motherboard wouldn't open up enough and close enough, and it wouldn't fit any direction other than that vertical, and I hated the way that the radiator looked like that. So I found the other one, I tried that one, and it worked, and I'm so happy because I think this looks way better than if the radiator was vertical. But now we are at that nerve-wracking moment where we try and turn the system on for the first time to see if, one, it works, and two, how well it plays games, so that we can determine how much we're gonna try and sell this for, to see if we're actually gonna make money on the system, or if I just spent a bunch of the money that we're gonna be using to build your computer and we're never gonna get that money back. So I'm gonna go ahead and cross my fingers and pray that this thing not only works, but gets at least some decent gameplay. So I know that I was pretty pessimistic about this system right here, and that is because with us being so incredibly close to having enough funds to build the computer that one of you will have the chance to win, I don't want to spend money on a computer that isn't going to give us a good return. But thankfully for us, this old girl right here still has some fight in her, and the gameplay was pretty good. Starting off with Call of Duty, where we were able to capture 53 FPS at high settings and the resolution set to 1080p. I then jumped into Destiny 2 with high settings and was able to capture a similar FPS as in Call of Duty with an average frame rate of 51 FPS. And for the game that is probably more tailored to this type of machine, I played Paragon the Overprime and was able to capture an average of 64 FPS with settings set to very high. So one of the most interesting things about this computer that I found while testing the gameplay is I was almost 100% positive that the RX 590 graphics card that we put in here was absolutely gonna be underutilized, but it turns out the GPU is at 100% the whole time. This CPU could have done well with maybe a 980 Ti or something like that. I mean, honestly, the GPU was the limiting factor. So let's go over the total cost to put together this system right here. Now, for the original computer, we paid $50 and we got a pretty decent amount of stuff for that $50. For the CPU cooler, we were going to use that ID cooling CPU cooler, and that cooler is like $19. And I can't see this Cooler Master one being any more than maybe $10. Now, I just pulled it out of my junk drawer, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna give that an evaluation of 10 bucks. So we're gonna add $10 to the total cost for this system with that. This right here is an RX 590 that I was able to pick up on Facebook Marketplace for 60 bucks. Usually you can't get 580s for $60, so we were able to pick up this 590 for $60, and what a tremendous pickup that actually is. For the cable extensions, it was $18 or $19 for that, and for this beautiful Antec case, we paid $66. So the total cost to build this computer right here was only $205, and I'm gonna put it on Facebook Marketplace for $380. Now we'll probably get $340 or $320, but that's a little over $100 in profit, and it's an older system, so you can't put a price tag on it of like $500. It's just unrealistic. So now we need to talk about total funds and how much money we have to build the system that one of you lucky subscribers is going to have a chance to win. Now, this is probably the only episode that I've done where in the in-between of episodes, I haven't sold one of the computers. I still have our all-white non-RGB computer listed for $700, and I have the white and purple build that we put together last week in my closet ready to sell. Now, they have gotten a lot of attention, but we have not gotten a buyer for that. So we have not increased the amount of money that we have to spend for your computer, but we're now going to have 3 computers listed. One for $800, one for $700, and now this one right here for $380. So in total funds, we had $1,172 to spend on your computer. And after we put together this system right here, we're down to $967. But once those computers sell, this one and the other 2, we are going to be unbelievably close to building your computer. Now, I did want to remind you really fast, if you want a chance to win the computer that we are going to be building for our grand finale, you do want to make sure that you follow the link in the description down below and join my Discord server, because our winner is going to be chosen from there. And I don't know if you were paying attention a minute ago, but this computer is going to cost more than $3,000, so you might want to join in. Now, you guys at home, I'm gonna need you to cross those fingers that those 3 computers sell, because once those computers sell, we're pretty much off to the races with the computer that one of you guys is gonna get to win. And I am very excited to get that one done. But until then, I did wanna say that I hope that no matter where you are in the world, you are having a fantastic day. And I will see you in the next video.